Alright, so let's take a look at those results. This is the one with the fan, and this is the one without the fan. As you can see, towards the bottom of the print, it had an okay time. Same with this one. It had an okay time printing those. But as it went up, heat gained and it had no way to cool off, and it got worse and worse and worse. In fact, if you chose to just print this one at a time and this one at a time, this is what it would look like in that case scenario. So let's just say I printed just this one. So not as bad. Because the head wasn't traveling back and forth, you don't have the wave marks that this one has right here. But because it didn't have time to cool whatsoever, this is what it would look like if you printed this one all by itself. Wow, right? So, fans are important. So in this one, I have the fans, and I'm suffering from another problem, and you can see that right here where it's not being filled in. Okay, not being filled in. Well, in the last chapter, we looked at what we could do to remedy that. Was instead of like a 0.5, use a 0.45 setting. Okay, so let's look at what that looks like. And here's the one printed that way, and here's the one printed this way. Perfect, right? Now, why print one this way and then one that way? What was that? Well, if you look at the grain of the plastic, if I was to add any kind of like physical damage to this just by pressing it down hard enough, it could bust. I doubt it. It's really strong actually. I'm putting as much pressure as I can on there, and I still have no way of breaking it. But look at this part. Since everything's going this way, it's super strong. Absolutely no way of breaking that whatsoever, unless you used a hammer. But physically pressing down on it with all your might, it would be really hard to break that. So that's the difference. You have to learn when to print vertical, when to print horizontal. You also have to know when to put a fan on it and when not to put a fan on it. And you also have to consider, grain of plastic. What makes a stronger part? All right. So you should probably print this, take and go rip it again at 0.45 and print it, and then give me all those. That's what I want. As a turn-in, I want a little bag filled with your little test items, and you can keep them after you're done, but I want to see what you did, how they turned out, and then I'll hand them right back and mark you off for the points. All right, so enjoy. And on to the next chapter where we look at another concept.